If you or someone dear to you has been struggling with the challenges of grief or stress, this segment of our Rise and Renew Post Takeover Experience series is for you. Angela Clement, who is a grief coach, a healer, and the creator of the online series Awaken Your Soul's Journey, opens up about her journey of losing her husband and the powerful lessons she has learned about the importance of acknowledging and processing emotions during tough times. You'll experience effective techniques for managing grief, including energy, healing, and the important role of self-care. Angela also introduces her 6-week course focused on managing grief and healing, along with a weekly support group for guidance and connection. Come join us.
Hello, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled, and I want to thank Irene for giving me the opportunity to take over as the host for the Grief and Rebirth podcast. I am going to today dive really deep into a theme of renewal. I want to give everyone an opportunity to, at this time of the year, experience the promise and the potential of starting a new year. And so if we're ready to feel better and we're ready to step into something new and to start to take this journey, then I'm looking forward to working with you and to getting to the place where you can start to feel confident and step into a new life and rise from your challenges. So a bit about me. I lost my husband in 2021, so 3 years ago. I lost him to colon cancer. He was diagnosed in January and he passed away at the end of October. And in that time, it was really challenging. As you can probably imagine, we had to make provisions for me to be able to look after him. And so I ended up taking leave of absence and eventually retiring from my position. And we also ended up moving to get closer to a hospital. And so I found myself in this place of not only having the challenge of losing my spouse, but also being in a space where I had never lived before, not knowing the people there, and also going into retirement. And so a lot of us are faced with challenges in life. And some of them can be really big and can be really daunting. And so, the move, the retirement, it's not easy, but I had support. I had someone to walk with me along my journey. And so this is what I want to offer you now. I want to offer you an opportunity to have me walk alongside you as a grief coach, as an energy healer, as a new author. I am an angel intuitive as well. And so through my experience and through my devotion to bringing a message of hope and inspiration to you, I am excited to have this opportunity. And so I really want to start by just setting some intentions for this. The reason why I do this is because it's so powerful. Setting an intention really tells the universe that you are wanting something, and it makes it clear to the universe what you are seeking so that it can be provided for you. And we could sometimes forget how important those things are. And so I really want to set an intention for this time with you to bring you practical strategies and steps that are going to be suited to you, bring you comfort, bring you hope, bring you inspiration, and give you some insights, practical insights that will support you on your journey to renewal and to help you rise from your challenges. So today I'm going to explore some practical steps for renewal and transformation. And I'll share what I've learned on my journey with you. And then after I have done that, I'm going to share with you an exciting opportunity I'm going to offer just for you so that we can continue along the path of renewal. And so I'm going to start out by just letting you know the importance of being acknowledged in your grief and having the challenges that we are facing and the emotions that we are feeling be acknowledged by ourselves and also by others. I have an example. One of my biggest challenges in my grief was when my new grandson was on the way. And it was difficult for me because I was excited and happy, of course, about getting this new little grandson to love. It was my first grandson. And yet at the same time, I was so sad that his grandpa wasn't going to get to meet him. And so sad that I was going to be grandma all by myself. And it was so difficult for me because I was feeling really guilty about feeling sad and not being as excited as maybe I should be as a grandma. And what really helped me, and the point of all of this story, is that I was walking with a friend one day and I was telling her about my new grandson coming. And she said to me, "Oh," she says, "it must be so exciting. And at the same time, it must be so hard." And in that moment, being acknowledged in the way I felt and to know that other people understood what I was going through and that maybe it wasn't so unusual for me to be feeling that way made a huge difference for my healing. And so I realized then, how important it is to really acknowledge our own pain and to step into it and really be okay with all of the emotions and things that are coming up, because they are normal and they are part of the process. And so today, I really want you to think about some of the challenges that you've had, how going through those hard things were able to, probably change you. And how did going through those hard things teach you some lessons along the way? We're always learning and growing in life. And some of these really more difficult challenges are the ones that really teach us some big lessons. Challenges are opportunities for growth. And so I want you to really take a few minutes just to think about the challenge that you've faced and really acknowledge yourself in that. And you can even pause for a bit and do a little bit of journaling or writing about this. What is the challenge that you've had to go through? It could be specific or it could be general. And then what have you learned through that challenge? And what are you learning through that challenge? Because sometimes we're in the middle of the lesson, right? And what has helped you? And how has it changed you? In what ways? And that could be in positive or negative ways. But I think what we're doing here is we're really acknowledging that challenge. So go ahead and pause the video for a few minutes. So rising from challenges is a journey. And we take this journey one step at a time. I want to share with you some practical steps that you can take away with you right away today, and they'll help you on your healing journey. So the first step is all about acknowledging your feelings. And this is something that I learned early on in my grief, was that these feelings are going to come up. And lots of times they can be anger, they can be sadness, they can be jealousy, some of those emotions that we really don't want to feel. And have often been told that they're not good in some way. And so when those come up for healing, we often will try to push them down. And the way my coach talked about it is that think about your emotions as a beach ball. You're trying to hold them under the water. You can do it for a while, but over time, you just can't hold them anymore. And that beach ball comes flying up in your face. And that's when we have these volcano eruptions of emotion. And we tend to get a little bit afraid then of them because they can be so powerful when they come up that way. So what I learned was that I needed to pay more attention to my emotions when they were coming up and to find ways to actually release them. And so journaling, speaking those emotions out loud, taking up some kind of creative endeavor, such as art or dance or music, and just expressing them in a way that feels right for you. I can make a lot of different suggestions about how we can do that. There's multiple ways, but expressing those emotions is one of the biggest pieces that you will ever put into place on this journey. The next step is all about creating a healing space or sanctuary for you to reflect, to meditate, to journal, or just to be. And in that space, you would bring certain items that bring you comfort, that bring you inspiration, hope. You might add some color into that space that makes you feel good. And to just really set that up in a place where it is accessible. So perhaps right in your home or maybe in your yard, in your garden, somewhere where you can go to just express these feelings and to just be. And you'll find as you use this space and your body gets used to being in that space, that your body will start to automatically decompress and to start to relax as soon as you walk into that space. So it's a really great daily routine, or at least, multiple times a week to visit that space and to give yourself that time to reflect. The next step I want to share with you is connecting with others. And so for me, I always thought that because I was an introvert, the best way that I could heal or get through my emotion was alone. And to a point, we do need to have alone time. However, I found out that seeking out support in all kinds of different ways, certainly a grief coach or a therapist is a good idea, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be a trusted friend. It could be a neighbor. It could be someone who shares a similar experience to you, or just joining another group that does things that you enjoy. So if you love to paint, joining a group that, focuses on painting each week so that you can share with your colleagues or your new friends what you're going through. And this is how we build new connections, because sometimes in our grief, we end up losing some of our connections. We end up losing some of the friends that we had because they just don't relate to us anymore. I know I found for myself being in a partnership. A lot of people talk about this. You have your partner and you have your friends that are partners, and then all of a sudden you're alone and it just doesn't feel right anymore. So sometimes your relationships can get strained. And so connecting with others is really important. Building those new relationships with people that resonate with you. and help you get into activities that are exciting for you and bring you joy. It's really, really important. One-on-one connection or group connection, it doesn't matter as long as you are spending some time, and you will figure out the balance between spending time alone and spending time with a group. The next step is exploring some different healing techniques. And I found energy healing was really important in my journey. And I'll tell you why. It's because when all of those heavy emotions come up for healing, sometimes we can, like I said, express them on our own and kind of move them through us. But energy healing is an opportunity for us to gently release some of those emotions through another way. So some of the healing techniques that I tried were like Reiki. I tried yoga, massage, cranial sacral therapy, touch for health. There was all different kinds, and everybody resonates with something different. So you sometimes have to try a few different things to see what works for you. But being able to release those energies in that way is really important. One of the things I tell people is that, when you break your leg, you put it in a cast. And, the doctor does that for you, but the doctor doesn't heal you. Who heals you? You do, because your body knows exactly what to do to heal. And it is the same thing with grief. So we can do all the things, get ourselves some help, some support, and all of those things, just like the cast on our leg. But energy healing, what it does is it puts your body in that space where you can heal. The energy practitioners hold that space for you so that you can heal. So it's a really lovely way. And if you've never tried energy healing, I strongly encourage you to try that and to integrate it into your daily life. So it doesn't always have to be that you go visit an energy healing practitioner. There's lots of things that you can do on a daily basis that will help you to move your energy and get your body into a state of healing. And one I always suggest to people is the Daily Energy Routine by Donna Eden and Eden Energy Medicine. If you YouTube that, you will find all kinds of videos about that. And that is a very simple technique. It takes about 5 minutes to run through, and you can do it several times a day if you like. I certainly did it when Blaine was sick, especially, and after the loss, to reset my energies. I often did that daily energy routine. And there's a lot more simple techniques and practices that I can share with you around that. The next step is to just celebrate every victory. And I don't mean big victories. I mean small victories. Sometimes it's just hard to get out of bed. Sometimes it's hard to find a good meal. You don't feel like cooking, or you don't feel like going out. And so every step forward, no matter how small, deserves some kind of recognition. And so I want you to start to think about the challenges that you've been through and, some of the brave things that you've had to do along the way, going out and getting some of those paperwork type things done, insurances, and, moving your loved ones' names around, the legal things that you've had to do. I mean, all of those things, preparing for the service, like there's so many challenges that come with this. And so giving yourself grace and recognition for what you've been through and what you are going through. And that, yes, it's hard. It really can be very difficult. And it's teaching you resilience. It's teaching you how to step into something hard And you have everything you need inside of you to be able to do this. So celebrating your progress. And I always say to people, when you take that little step, just a little step in the right direction by doing some self-care, maybe having a bath or, taking on some kind of small project that makes you feel good. Each time that you do that, the universe takes 10 steps for you. I always say that because you are so supported and guided by your helpers, by your loved one in spirit, to help you move through. And so sometimes, we don't feel like we know what the right thing is. We know we need to eat healthy, or we know we need our sleep. And sometimes we just don't feel like it. Sometimes we're just in that space where it's so hard. That's what I really want you to think about this. Take that one small step and let the universe give you that momentum to keep moving forward. So renewal is an ongoing process. It's not something that happens overnight. I want you to take it one day at a time. And it's great to have someone to walk with you on that journey. Somebody who can be your cheerleader, who can support you as you take each little step. And that's why I created what I call the Journey to Renewal. It's a 6-week program. It's a healing challenge. And as a certified grief coach and healer and the author of Awakening Through Grief, I've designed this program to walk alongside you as you take each step towards your renewal and to rising above these challenges that you're going through. So during this 6-week journey, we are going to explore different topics. And the first topic is all about embracing the journey of grief and really understanding what this process is all about and understanding it as a really sacred healing process and one that is going to help you move to a life of more joy and fulfillment. The next week, we're going to talk about all kinds of different tools that we can use in our daily life, strategies that we can integrate into our routines that will help us just get that momentum moving forward and to help us feel more confident in our daily lives. The next week, we're going to talk about healing sanctuaries. We're going to talk about how to build these, how to personalize it so that it suits you, and also within that, how to create an altar in memory of our loved ones and our ancestors, and how that can augment our healing as we're moving through this journey. Then we're going to use that space to start to connect with spirit, to start to build this new relationship with our loved one. And we're going to start to learn to make connections with them in a brand new way so that we feel loved and supported by them as we continue on our journey here. Then we're going to talk about the power of reflection, and we're going to start to harness some of the lessons that we've already learned on our journey and learning how to use what we've learned already to help us keep moving forward. And we'll do what we call creative journaling in this process. Now, you don't have to be a writer to do this. It actually is a very easy and gentle way of reflecting on where we've been and learning from that and then using it to move forward. And so I'm excited to be able to share that with you. And then in the final week, we're going to talk about how we can celebrate our transformation and how to step forward with the tools and the strategies that I've taught you in the first 5 weeks, and how that builds resilience in your life and then helps you to meet the desires and the goals that you really want to achieve. So each week, we will meet for about an hour, maybe a little longer, depending on whether there's more questions. I'll certainly be doing questions and answers and guiding you as individuals. And so I'm planning to meet one evening a week, and I'm going to create this really safe and supportive place that I do with my support groups. And so I think you'll really find it healing. You'll find it a place where you can really share what your challenges are and how we can move through those challenges. And then also, it'll give you an opportunity to connect with others that are going through a similar journey and to learn from each other and to make friendships with other people. Now, if you can't make it at the particular time that I've set aside for these, then there will be a recording offered to you. It's so important to invest in your health and your well-being. It's not only just important for you, but it's important for everybody around you, because when you help yourself, you're helping everyone. When you are a better version of yourself, you have more to give. And so this is an opportunity to get some really personalized attention, to make some connections, to get some amazing support, and to be guided with tools and strategies and practical tips for you that aren't going to be just for your grief journey. They're going to be for you in life, for you to start stepping into some really profound healing. And so if you're ready to do that, I will have a link in the description that you can check out. I would love to see you and meet you in the challenge. And just remember that renewal is always within reach. You have what you need right inside of you to live a life that's joyful and fulfilling and to make all your dreams come true. I would love to see you. And I would love to see you do that. And so I look forward to seeing you in the challenge. Go ahead and find that link and let's get started. And before I go, I just want to thank again Irene and her team for this opportunity to get to meet you and to get to share with you these practical tips and strategies. And I'll see you in the challenge. Bye for now.
Thanks for tuning in to Grief and Rebirth. Remember, you can dive deeper into everything we've discussed by checking out the show notes and all past episodes at ireneweinberg.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Irene S. Weinberg on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and wherever you love to hang out online. Plus, we're on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe and never miss a video. For those of you listening, you'll find links to my 2 books, Good to the Last Drop and They Serve Bagels in Heaven, in the show notes. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see those books listed right above, so don't miss out. And here comes a special treat. If you sign up for Audible as a first-time user using my link, which you can find in the show notes, you can get They Serve Bagels in Heaven for free. And finally, people often ask me what I read, what I use, and what I recommend for healing and self-care. So I've carefully curated a compilation of those items to share with you. You can head over to kit.co/grief and rebirth to check them out. Thanks again for tuning in, and until next time, many blessings.